unboxing video of the new Warhammer Underworlds Direchasm Season 4 of Warhammer Underworlds. First off, I just want to say I really like this box art, especially this lady right here. Something about this, like how she's drawn, the style, it's so fluid. Very nice. So if you've gotten Underworlds before, the box is similar. You know, you'll be familiar with the size and how it's packaged and such, but take a look inside. Alright, so the first things we see is the game board and tokens, shrink wrapped together. Put this aside for right now. The rulebook. Again, if you're familiar with Underworlds, it's about the same size it looks like. Take a look at that later. Here we have the models. So, the Dread Pageant. And the Purifiers. We get our dice. So you get your normal attack defense dice plus 3 magic dice. It's pretty standard since Nightvault. And then the cards. Oh, it looks like they're all packaged together. It's nice. Before it was just usually 3 loose decks of cards. It's a nice little change. So we've got the Dread Pageant deck, the Purifiers deck, and the extra cards, or the universals. So if you're familiar with Underworlds, the Dread Pageant deck will have the cards for the fighters and all the Dread Pageant specific cards. Same with Purifiers for the Purifiers, and then the universals are what it sounds like. It's universal cards that can be used by any Warband in Underworlds. A quick thing I wanted to mention that I just noticed as well is that there are no Ziploc bags in this, like you normally get little Ziploc bags to store your dice and cards. It's interesting exclusion. Kind of wish they were in there. It makes it easier to store it if you're not putting them into binders. But yeah, no plastic bags in this, so make sure you have a way to store all your tokens and dice and stuff. Alright, so first off, let's take a look at the boards and tokens. I went ahead and opened these off camera so you don't have to see me struggling through some shrink wrap. So let's start with the boards. We have 2 boards. We need Direchasm ones. So again, anyone not familiar with Underworlds, the way these work is they fold down nicely like this, so you can carry them. So this is half a board. Fold it out. It's the full board. The other side. So it's carrying on. This is still set in Beastgrave, the setting that took over for Shadespire in Season 3. So we still got very Beastgrave-y art style here. Got some lava pits that are the dangerous terrain hexes, the lethal hexes. Some nice designs here. Second one. Again, more of the Beastgrave artwork there. It's a nice one. So again, these are 2 new boards that you can add to your collection. It's got new, spaces for starting hexes, new blocked hexes, new locations for lethal hexes. So with this and all the ones that we've gotten from Nightvault and Beastgrave and Shadespire and the various expansions, I think there's only been 2 boards that have been discontinued from match play. So there's a big selection of boards for you to choose from now. So I don't know, I like these. I like the new artwork. This one and one of the other sides is very Beastgrave, but I really like this. Is obviously it still has the Beastgrave feel with the shells and the bone feel, but nice green, organic, a little bit even peaceful. Similar to this one, I feel like it has this kind of a peaceful vibe to it with this design work here. Take a look at the tokens. So, start here. We've got the wound tokens, we got the guard tokens, the charge tokens, a new scatter token, objectives. So it's lethal on the back, just like in Beastgrave. We've got these tokens here. Let's So I'm not sure what they are. They're probably just the new lethal hexes. It's interesting. Probably has something to do with the Direchasm, the lore behind it. And then this token here, I'm not sure what this is either. So again, probably something to do specific with the new Direchasm rules. So just looking at the other ones, got all the same stuff here. Glory points, the wounds, the objectives. Yeah, so the wound tokens are also double as your any other tokens you may need. So I know they have a token set coming out with this, just like they had for Beastgrave. They have tokens that have artwork specific to the different warbands, what they may need, but there's also these generic ones for if your warband rules have you keep track of something. You can use the backside of the wound tokens and then the churn tokens right here. So the purifiers comes in, it's slightly off-white. I don't know how well this comes across in the video. It's kind of like a beigey gray. So it's pretty good for basically the Lumineth, which are basically high elves, if you're more familiar with the world that was. Really like their bases. They're very elevated. Get some really nice height variations going on here. And then the Dread Pageant. It's a purpley blue. It's more blue to me. Very dark. Fits in nicely for Slaanesh. I really love the look of these models. They have a strong 300 vibe to me, especially with the mortals. And then you got the Slan Gore for the first time. So some nice bases with some sand. Always a big fan of desert bases. So I'm excited to put these together. These will probably be, I'll paint one of these first because I really like these models. Okay, so next let's take a look at the rulebook, and it actually also came packaged with this. It's like a little get started thing. So I guess let's look at this first. So this is great for if you are completely new to the game. It tells you what everything is. Boards, the cards, all what the different tokens are that I just went over. Assembly guide. Tutorial. Basically walks you through around the game, it looks like. Alright, and the main rulebook itself, Direchasm. Starts off with the lore, which is I'm always a big fan of. Even with Underworlds, it's kind of a not as lore heavy game as obviously 40k and AOS are, but it still has some really good background lore if you enjoy that type of stuff, which I do. I read the Beastgrave tie-in novel. I enjoyed that. I'll probably pick up the tie-in novel for this as well. Some really cool artwork. Alright, here's the rules for the game itself. So I'm not going to go over this too much right now. I'll be doing a written review of this on Mangler Miniatures that I'll cover this in more detail like I normally do, but I'm not just going to sit here and read through the rules either. So let's just do a quick flip and see if there's anything that stands out to me. Some cool artwork. So here at the back, it does list the boards you came with and the names of what they are. So we've got the Hive of Sacrifice, the Amber Trap Nest, the Pool of Fangs, and the Menhirs of Binding. I'm sure I said that wrong. Lastly, let's take a look at the cards. So it's opened up that shrink wrap. These aren't completely individually wrapped. There's this little binder around them. So heads up for you when you open up the shrink wrap on the pack of 3 cards. If you're not careful, they may spill everywhere. These are the cards for the purifiers. Nice artwork card. All right, we got our fighters. So this has all been previewed on the community site, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through this. So like I said, this is the purifiers only deck, so you get all the cards that are for that. Just the purifiers, including, you know, spells, ploys, and upgrades, and the objectives. One thing I always like doing is looking at the art style on the cards, because they switch it up every now and then. They have new artists do different card packs, so it definitely looks like a new artist. or at least a new art style. Again, it's very bright and colorful. I like it. Dread Pageant. Let's mix up a little here. The fighters in the back. So here's all the fighters. Love all the purples used on this, and it's very vibrant. And lastly, we have the universal cards. This is extra cards. These are the universals. So if this follows the route that Beastgrave did, all the cards from Night Vault will be retired for match play. So all you'll be able to use are the Warband specific cards and the universals from Beastgrave and from Direchasm. So these are important because it will start replacing your Night Vault cards, basically. So Primacy, this must be that token. Again, yep, I'll go over this more in my written review. So it's nice to see a mixture of warbands in here. Lots of times the universal cards just have the warbands from that new season. Sometimes you can see hints of warbands coming out, but here we've got, you know, from Beastgrave, it's from Night Vault, from Shadespire, mixture of Beastgrave and Shadespire. So this is nice to see some older warbands still getting artwork featured. And I really like this style. It's very loose and fluid, very energetic. So one thing we often see here, since it replaces the last season, is we'll see kind of this replacements for standard cards. I don't know if I really see any here unless they renamed them, so maybe they're doing something different with this season. Yeah, I don't see any of the standard ones here. I don't see any of the capture objective ones. So that's interesting. I wonder what that means for this season and the cards from the previous seasons. And that's my unboxing of Direchasm. Again, I'll have a more in-depth written review on Mangled Miniatures to check out. But I just want to give you a quick look at everything that's in there, a quick flick through the cards and the models. And it looks like what we've come to expect with Underworld with some twists, just based off of the universal cards. So I guess, like I said, we'll see how this season plays out. I'm excited to see if maybe how they progress will be different than what they did when they went from Season 2 to Season 3. So again, Direchasm, Season 4 of Underworlds. I'm excited to play some games.